Right, cheese, leek and potato pocket pies. You've seen the thumbnail, so you know what they turn out like, but let's just take you through the ingredients. You're going to need some cheese, of course. I've got 100 grams of, this is a fairly sharp cheddar, a mature cheddar, and that gives great flavour, depth of flavour. I've got 300 grams of potato, which I'll need to peel and mash. I've got 150-160 grams of leek, well, again, which I need to shred up, and I've got a puff pastry sheet. I've also got an egg yolk, which is for glazing the pies, and about a tablespoon of butter for sweating down the leeks. So let's get right on with it. I need to peel, boil and mash my potatoes, and I need to cut down my leeks and get those frying in the butter. So there's my spuds, all chopped up fairly small with just a pinch of salt. I'm going to boil those in some water, and all I need is plain mashed potato with nothing else in it. Into my other saucepan I'm going to put the butter. Get that melted down a bit and go straight in with my leeks just to sweat them down. So I've chopped the leeks to this very fine chop. Makes everything quite easy. And then all I need to do is just keep the leeks moving until they're sweated down and relaxed. I'll bring you back when that's done. So this recipe is enough for 2 pocket pies like I showed. If you need to make any more, just double it up, you know, just double it all up. Get 2 puff pastry sheets and double up all the other ingredients. So they're coming up to being pretty relaxed and sweated down now. So I'll turn off the heat and allow that to cool. Now we're just waiting for the potatoes. So I've got my potatoes boiled and mashed up. I'm just going to let those cool a little bit now. Okay, once that's cooled down a bit, we're going to mix up the pie filling and check for seasoning. So in there goes my cheese. In there goes all the potatoes. And we give that a good mix. And any residual heat in the leeks or the potatoes will help to melt the cheese, at least to blend it in, and I'm mixing more to incorporate than to make it into a paste, if you know what I mean. And once I've got it into that state, I'm going to have a quick taste of it. Yeah, as you might have guessed, it's very tasty, but I'm just going to add in some pepper and a little pinch more of salt. I'm a bit of a pepper fan, so I'm going in with about, what's that, 1/4 teaspoon, and it only needs a little pinch of salt. Give it another mix and then another taste. Perfect. Right, I'm just going to put that aside now and let that cool down completely, and then we can talk pastry. Again, we have Mr. Paul, Bradley Bennett and Mike and Nancy Abel to thank for the production of this video. Thanks guys, you're helping keep the lights on around here. Cheers. Okay, so I've rolled out my my sheet of pastry, and I'm just going to cut it in half lengthways like that, and then I'm going to take that off and just do one for you, show you. Put that to one side. Going to get a bit of dusting flour down, and then get my pastry onto the dusting flour. And I think I'm going to spin it that way round And then I'm going to take half of my mix, and place it into the pie like that. So you'll notice where it is, it's kind of halfway down. And then I'm going to fill it out, spread it out a bit to leave about a centimetre around the edges. Once I'm happy with that, and take a bit of water and go around the edges like that, just with my finger. And then making sure all this is tucked in here, I then take the top of the pastry over and fold it down to meet the edges of the other pastry. Now as I'm doing this, I'm going to push down on here as well, very lightly, to express any air from inside it. So you get nice, neat, joined up edges like that. And then what I do, let's just get this nice on there, is I go round it with the tines of a fork. And if you find that the tines stick into the pastry, just dip them in water as you do it. You don't need to press too hard, just hard enough for it to stick together. The next thing I do is I give it a nice coating all over with egg. But first of all, I'm going to transfer that onto my baking sheet. So that's both pies made now and transferred to the baking sheet. Meanwhile, you want to set your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. And then we paint the top with the egg yolk. Make sure it's evenly painted all over. And once you've done that, what I like to do is I like to make some scores in the pie. So I'm just going to cut 3 diagonal lines like that, and I'll do the same to this one. And now that goes into your oven at 180 degrees Celsius, which is about 350 degrees Fahrenheit, for 30 to 35 minutes, but keep an eye on it and see how it goes. Oh gosh, look at those. They do look nice. Beautiful pies. And they're quite large. Look at those, they're quite large pies. Now, you can either eat them cold, and trust me, cold, they're absolutely amazing. They're a beautiful pie, a beautiful picnic pie to eat cold. But tonight, my brother and I are going to eat these with chips and beans. So I'll show you that all plated up in a minute. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you want to help me out with the donation, there's donation links below to PayPal, Subscribestar and Buy Me a Coffee. Meanwhile, the thumbs up and your comments below help a lot. Thanks ever so much. Thanks in advance. So there you have it, leek cheese and potato pie served with chips and franks and beans. All right, taste test. Let's have a look at this. Oh, you know, these pies are just as good cold, but right now at this moment on this plate, that's really, really great. So there you are. It's a real budget meal. I mean, it costs you next to nothing to make these pies, so really consider it as a meal option. And also look at the size of it. It's a big pie. You could actually make 4 with the same ingredients. So there you go. Enjoy. Rather pleased with that.